Hi everybody, it's another Q&A day. I think it's like day 6, so we have a long way to go. So I have a buyer that wants to submit an offer that is asking if I could please explain what it means to waive all contingencies. So first let's talk about what a contingency is. So in the purchase and sales contract, there are conditions in the contract that need to be met in order for the transaction to take place. Those conditions usually are the appraisal, the loan approval, if it's financing, and the inspection window. Those 3 conditions are there in the contract to protect the buyer, and it enables them to get their escrow deposit back or their earnest money back should something go wrong with those 3 conditions. Now, I like to think of these conditions or contingencies as only if scenarios. So let's say that a buyer puts in an offer $500,000 on a home. They're telling the seller, Mr. Seller, I'm gonna offer you $500,000 only if that appraisal comes in at $500,000. So the appraisal contingency is telling the seller that if the value does not come in, then the buyer will be able to get out of the contract, remove themselves from the transaction, and still get their earnest deposit back. Another example, like I mentioned, is the loan approval. The buyer is saying to the seller, Mr. Seller, I am going to move forward with this transaction only if, and that's the contingency, your loan approval contingency, I am approved for a loan. Now, if a buyer is not approved for the loan, that contingency is protecting them to get their earnest deposit back. When buyers waive all contingencies, they are taking the risk of something going wrong and the buyer not getting their earnest deposit back. So there was a while back when it was a crazy market. Everybody was doing everything to get their offer accepted. People were pulling all stops and they were waiving contingencies. I don't think it's necessary to do that at this time. I didn't think it was necessary to do it then, but people were doing it because they needed to get their offer accepted. So if you would like to talk further, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. We'll see you tomorrow for another Q&A. Take care.